Fundamental analysis, that's just for those folks that don't know how to read a chart. In this video, I'll be discussing what fundamental analysis is, specifically in the context of analyzing a company. If you're new to investing, don't worry, I'll be keeping things simple and easy to understand. Let's get started. A long time ago, I used to think that trading stocks only required me being able to read a chart. And I didn't really need fundamental analysis. Boy, was I wrong. As part of my option trading, I used Rocket Company, stock symbol RKT. Take a look here, you can see where I'm down over 57%. Or take a look at this one, Rush Street Interactive, stock symbol RSI, where I'm down 67%. I think I made my point. If I had just taken some time to look at the fundamentals for these companies, I may not have used them for my options trading. Hey, can you turn off that sad music already? So fundamental analysis is a way of determining how healthy a company is and how much it's really worth. For me, I like to look at a company's financial statements, plus the industry trends, and maybe some other key factors to see how well a company is doing and how it might do in the future. Now, the financial statements are the documents that show how much a company has made, how much money the company spent, what does the company actually own, and how much does it owe. Now, there are three main financial statements that investors typically look at. First is the income statement. It shows how much the company's made and spent in a certain period of time, and how much profit it made. Next is the balance sheet. That shows what the company owns, like buildings, computers, and other assets, and what it owes, like loans and debts it may have incurred. And the third and last statement is the cash flow statement, and that shows how much money the company's bringing in and how much it's spending. At this point, I should take a moment and briefly discuss technical analysis. So if I show you the chart for Apple Corporation, stock symbol AAPL, one thing that you immediately notice is the upward trend in the stock. Here's a daily chart for Apple stock going back 10 years to May of 2013. Wow, what a great looking chart. And the technical analysis is pretty clear. But what about a company whose stock isn't always on the rise? What if there has some ups and downs? Let's take a look at another example. Now let's take a look at the daily chart going back to 2021 for Johnson & Johnson Corporation, stock symbol J&J. Now here you can see that the stock price has been largely trading in a range. In fact, let me go ahead and draw some lines in here so it's easier for us to see exactly what I'm talking about. So I'm seeing a support line right around $150 per share and a resistance right around $183 per share. So as you can see, this stock has been trading sideways most between a low $150 per share and a high of right around $183 per share. So I just showed you in these two examples where technical analysis gives you a lot of information, right? So we could see when a stock, as in the case of Apple, was trending a lot higher and moving up, or in the case of Johnson & Johnson, where the stock price was actually moving kind of sideways, right? We saw a support level right around 150 and an upper resistance of right around $183 per share. So using technical analysis and looking at the charts can be very helpful if you're researching the share price of a company's stock. But keep in mind, the two drawbacks are, this is the share price of where it's been, so it tells you the history of the share price, not what it's going to be in the future. And the second issue is, it really doesn't tell you anything about the company. Is the company generating a lot of revenue? Is the company paying their bills on time? Or are they in debt? Does the company own a lot of assets and are they increasing? Or is the company even profitable? The answers to questions like these are found by doing a fundamental analysis. And to do that, I always rely upon the financial statements of the company, the income statement, the balance sheet, and the cash flow statement. And if you've ever spent any time looking at these documents, you know there's a lot of numbers. Did I say there was a lot of numbers? There's a lot of numbers. So unfortunately for me, I'm not a business or finance expert, so I had to pull out all the stops to try and understand all this financial information. And I mean, I had to spend hours, days, weeks going through all the numbers and all the definitions of what these numbers meant to try and understand really what these statements were telling me. And after months of research, I think I can finally say that I understand just enough of the financial statements, the income statement, the balance sheet, and the cash flow to kind of understand where a company is positioned relative to its financial health. So this put me in a great space. Now I can do a fundamental analysis of a company using their financial statements. The unfortunate part, or the next challenge I had, is that it takes me about an hour to go through all those statements, all those numbers, to really get a handle on the financial health of a company. Now, if I have to research 5 or 6 stocks and do a fundamental analysis for each one of them, that could take me 5 or 6 hours. I don't have that kind of time.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
So rather than spend an hour looking at all those numbers, I figured out a way to spend just about 1 minute to look at only the numbers that I cared about to get a general idea about the health of a company. Now, is it 100% accurate? No. Do I see all the financial details? No. Now, it's okay if I don't know where a company's spending every single dollar. Using my 1 minute financial review, that gives me a pretty good indicator whether a company's doing well or if they're having some trouble. I like to do things simple. So for me, I start out by going to Yahoo Finance. Finance.yahoo.com. Now I simply enter a stock symbol. So let's try Amazon. So I'm going to enter symbol AMZN. Yahoo Finance returns to me a summary of the company and its shares. So for example, I can see that the current stock price is $105.65. The market cap is just over $1 trillion. Now for me, I love stocks that have a market cap of over $300 million. And I tend to shy away from companies that have a smaller market cap than that. Next, I always look at the average trading volume. Here we can see the volume is just over 60 million shares. And for this, I love to see an average volume of 1 million or higher. Although at times I will go a little bit lower, maybe 750,000. Next, I also like to take a look at the 1 year target estimate. In this case, you can see it's $134.25. This means that the industry analysts have an average estimated 1 year target price of $134.24. But of course, there's no guarantee that the shares will ever reach that price. And with the stock trading at $105.65, this gives it an upside potential of just over 27%. And then when I'm ready to actually take a look at the financials, I simply come over to this menu bar where it says financials and click. And Yahoo Finance gives me all of those statements. You can see here the income statement, the balance sheet, and the cash flow statement. And now with access to those company financial statements right on my desktop, it's easy for me to spend about just 1 minute going through all the statements to figure out if a company's doing well, in which case it has potential for me to use it as an option trade. Or maybe the company's not doing as well and I want to avoid it. Now I could sit here and make a boring video showing you the exact items I look at, but instead I decided to create a 1-page cheat sheet so you have all the information right at your fingertips whenever you need it. And you can download this 1 minute financial review cheat sheet simply by signing up for my free newsletter at stockhacker.com. This cheat sheet shows you the 10 items that I look at that allow me to do a 1 minute financial review. And because it's a PDF document, not only can I view it on my desktop computer, I can also view it on my smartphone or my tablet, or I can just simply print it out and have it as a ready reference. So simply sign up for my free newsletter at stockhacker.com and you'll be able to download my 1 minute financial review checklist. Plus, if you haven't downloaded it already, you'll also get access to my 1-button stock screener. As I've mentioned in other videos, I start every trading session with the 1-button stock screener to help me determine which securities I should be looking at in order to make profitable trades. So when you sign up for my free newsletter at stockhacker.com, you'll be able to download my 1-button stock screener, which will help you find stocks to trade. And you'll also be able to download my free 1 minute financial review cheat sheet, so that after you've identified which stocks you want to look at, it'll only take you 1 minute to determine if a company is worth looking at for a potential trade, or maybe you should avoid it.